Hello crafters, I'm JanB and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I'd like to show you how I made this card. The squiggly bits across here were inspired by a blouse I bought. It's the first time I've ever actually seen something where I have consciously been aware that I thought, oh, that would be a nice idea for a card. So I'm going to show you how I did this. I'm going to change the colours. This I've used Cherry Cobbler and Garden Green, and for today's card I'm going to use Real Red and Crumb Cake. So to start off with, I'm going to tell you the card pieces we're going to need. There's quite a lot of them here. So first of all, you need a card base in Real Red, which is 8 1/4 inches by 5 3/4 inches, which is 21 by 14.5 centimetres. A layer of Whisper White, which measures 4 inches by 5 5/8 inches, which is 10.25 by 14.25 centimetres. Another layer of Whisper White, which measures 3 7/8 by 5 1/2 inches, which is 10 by 14 centimetres. I marked it with a little cross so that I know which one is the top one, and just in case it got turned over I marked it on the back as well. Not taking any chances. Right, okay, now with the Designer Series paper I'm using these three from Candy Cane Lane Designer Series paper, and the top and the bottom pieces, these two, you need these to measure 1 to measure 2 inches by 5 1/2 inches, which is 5 by 14 centimetres, and one that is 1 7/8 by 5 1/2 inches, which is 5 centimetres by 14. That, I didn't check that, did I? So that's going to come to a total of 10. Oh yeah, that's fine, that's fine. And then this piece here, which is going to be going over the top, this needs to be 2 inches by 6 1/2 inches, which is 5 centimetres by 16 1/2 centimetres. And for these bits, first of all, for the sentiment, we need Whisper White, which measures 3 1/4 inches by 2 inches. That's 8.25 by 5 centimetres. And then a piece of Crumb Cake and a piece of Real Red, both which measure 3 1/4 inches by 2 1/2 inches, which is 8.25 centimetres by 6.25 centimetres. So those three pieces are for the sentiment and the layers. And then these two pieces are for the bells, and they both measure 4 inches by 1 1/2 inches, which is 10 by 4 centimetres. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to arrange my colours yet, so I've already prepared 4 bells. 2 of them are Real Red with the Crumb Cake in the centre, the other 2 are Crumb Cake with Real Red in the centre, so that I can decide at the time but not have to spend too much time actually making the bits. So first of all I'm going to do the base of the card. I'm going to take this piece first, and I'm going to adhere these 2 pieces like that. So I'll bring my silicone mat over and Tombow. I'm just thinking, depends which way round I put this as to which way round, whether I want the Crumb Cake bells or the Real Red bells. But that's okay as long as I don't stick it onto my card base. Yep, no, that's alright. Sorry for me thinking aloud there. Okay, so this is the first piece. Now I've done mine so that I will probably have a small overlap that needs to be trimmed off afterwards. But that that's to make sure that I don't get any white parts exposed. Oops. Let's make that bit go to the centre. Oh, that's the piece that's going to be coming over, isn't it? Okay, that really must match up. You don't want any white showing through if you allow that to go above or below. Okay, so there's my little bit that's overlapping, so I'll just trim that off. There we go. Now for this piece, the reason it's longer than this is because we're going to put it onto our card like this. So all we need to do is to take a pair of scissors and just do some very gentle curvy lines. There's no right or wrong to this at all. The only thing I would say is that to do the curves smaller rather than bigger. Okay, so that one will be right. And then do the other side as well. If you can alternate them so that on one side you've got a dip, a pokey out bit there and a dip here, and then the next one have a pokey out bit with a pokey out bit on this side. Sorry about the technical terms there. I suppose I really should say valleys and mountains. Okay, so if I pop that onto the white so that you can see exactly what I've done. Okay, now that bit there I think is a bit too pointed, so I'm going to make that go right towards the edge so that it gets cut off. Okay, so that I think will look fine. So what I'll do is I'll put glue on this, adhere it, and then trim the ends. I'm not quite sure how far I'm going to be gluing, so I'm just put some glue quite a way onto the inside because I don't want the edge not being stuck down. Okay, that should be fine. Right, tweezers. Now this does have a right way and a wrong way. Okay. Well, I've turned it around now, so this is going to be the bottom, and it does matter, obviously, otherwise my gingerbread men will be standing on their heads. But that's all right. I'm managing to cut that piece off, that really pointed bit. I don't want that. Okay, so once you've done that and you're happy, you can trim the ends off. Let's pop that in there. go. So let's move that out of the way. So that looks nice. Pleased with that. I can stick this together now because my design has decided which way I'm going with this. So just leave a little white gap all the way around. And then put this onto the card base and leave a little bit of red all the way around. There we go. Just checking I've done it on the right side. So now we need to do the sentiment and the bells. So let's do the sentiment first. I'm using A Very Merry Christmas to You, which is from the Reason for the Season stamp set, this one here. This is one of the sets that was brought forward from last year. And I'm going to use real red ink. Just give that a firm press, but not a heavy press. There we go, that's lovely. Doesn't matter it's wonky because it's going to be die cut anyway, so die cut those. And then the bells, what I've done with the bells is I stamped 4, I did 2 on the green, 2 on the red, and then on the red ones I cut out the black stripes, and that's what I'm going to do here. And I use our archival black ink for this, and this comes from the Seasonal Bells stamp sets. If you don't like the bell that I've chosen, there are these that you could use as well. This is a great stamp set because it can also be used as a wedding. It's got Mr. and Mrs. there, and this one here says Best Wishes as the Wedding Bells Ring. So very versatile, that one. That's extra value for money. Right, now stamp 2 of these. When you're going to be punching out like this, it's best if you've got one either end because that's the way it's going to be going into the punch. Right, I think what I'm going to do, I'll only do one of these so that I can show you what I've done, because I have actually prepared my 4 bells. Okay, so punch one out. So this is assuming I'm going to use the red bells. And then on the crumb cake one, I just need to cut these stripes out. That's without leaving any edge around them. Strictly speaking, this is paper piecing. This isn't difficult to do at all. There we go, so there's that one, that piece, that's what I need, save that one. That's a rubbish bin. So with my Tombow, just put a little bit on there because I don't want it all oozing out. And then that just fits onto there. And then this one fits on the top piece. And then what I did was I used my Wink of Stella pen, my clear glitter, that's it, and I painted the two stripy bits. And then the gong part in the, I don't know the correct terminology for that, I'm sure somebody will let me know, that bit there. Okay, so that's how I do the bells. Before I do anything I will die cut these, so I will get my big shot over and then I'm ready to put my card together. Right, I'm using my layering oval dies. That's these here. You get a complete set of straight cut dies and also the scallop dies. And for this project you need, the straight one is size 4 and the scallop ones are 4 and 5. And what I do is I start counting from the smallest upwards, and so the smaller the die, smaller the number, which counts for, this one is number 4. I'll put that, in fact I'm going to pull this one towards me because it's important that this one's straight. And you can do it so that you don't actually cut any off. Yep, that looks okay. And of course with these two it doesn't matter. There's that one and that one. It's jumping a little bit. You can hear a siren in the background. Whoops. So that's the sentiment. That's the red layer. And the crumb cake layer. Right, now this bit I really didn't know how I was going to be doing my colours, so what I've done is I've actually already die cut these so that I've got both ways. I can check them, see which I want, whether I think that looks better. Quite like, no, I don't like that at all. I don't like the crumb cake going. So that's definitely going to be that one. It needs the red to make it show up nicely. Okay, now I've also done these. I've done 2 bells in Real Red, and I've done 2 bells in Crumb Cake, so I can see what I like there. Now those, I don't think it's so important that it has the red, but I think I do prefer the red. Yes, I do. I think that ties it together nicely. So these are the pieces I'm going to use, and these pieces are all ready for another project. Nothing gets wasted. So let me bring back my silicone mat again, and we'll adhere these together. Obviously you can use whichever is your favourite adhesive for this. Snail or Fast Fuse, or our fine tip glue pen. Not that one. Or the tear and tape, you could use that as well if you wanted. Or you could layer them with dimensionals. So many choices. Right, this I will be popping on with dimensionals. And then this, I think I did dimensionals as well. And what I did here, I put one at the top, and then I cut, oh look, there's one already in half there, and I used 2 halves. In fact, as I'm right near the end there, I can take that piece and then take another one and cut that in half. Now, I suppose I should stick the bells first. So what I'm going to do, I'm lining this up on my grid paper so that I know where the centre is. I have number 8 there, so I've got 3 either side. So I'm making sure that I got the same distance between the number 5 and number 11 up there, and therefore I know that is the centre. So, seeing how I stuck them here, I'm going to do the same. Okay, let's line that up as well. So that's the second line in. It comes over to that one. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. This grid paper is brilliant. That's about it. So hopefully the next one I can do just by making sure that it looks right. Just eyeballing it. Okay, that's a bit further apart than the previous one. Oh, well, no, I'm not going to move it. It can stay. I'm sure that's going to be, yes, that'll be perfectly okay. Alright, so I'm going to pop that on there, and then I'll do my bow. I think these 3 sets of Christmas papers that we have this year are absolutely superb. That's this Christmas, Candy Cane Lane, and the other one is Presents and Pine Cones. Right, I'm going to pop this towards the top of the bells here, and then I'm going to put a little bow to cover that, the join up. And just make sure I'm getting this straight. That looks right. And I have a little bow maker, so I made my bow earlier on. I'll show you that. This is something else that I'm going to be asking Stampin' Up if we can have, because it just makes life so much easier. So I'm just going to pop that on there with a glue dot. In fact, I'll put 2 of these on the back, I think. I can't believe at one time I really did not like glue dots at all. But I made myself persevere with them because I saw so many people using them and getting really good results with them. I decided it had to be me, the problem with not the glue dots. And there we go. There's today's card. Look at all that sparkle on the bells. Isn't it gorgeous? Can you see the sparkle on that one as well? Yes, look at that. It's even better, isn't it? Beautiful, really, really beautiful. I'm really pleased that we have the Wink of Stella. That was a very smart move by Stampin' Up. Thank you. Right, okay. Many thanks for watching my video. If you have any questions, please email me at janb@janbcards.com or leave a message in the box below. I'm always very happy to help you. If you'd like to purchase any of the products that I featured here today, please click on the link in the box below, and that will take you straight to my 24/7 online Stampin' Up shop. I'll be putting on the screen all the measurements and the products that I've used, but if you can't see them because of the device that you're watching them on, if you click on Show More below, that will open up the box and you'll see everything in there, all the products, all the measurements, and of course a link to my shop as well. Finally, if you've enjoyed my video and would like to subscribe to my YouTube channel, please click on the subscribe button. But can I just ask you to double check to make sure that the video you're watching actually does have my name on the front. Unfortunately, some of my videos have been hijacked and somebody is changing the name, putting his name on there as if he's the maker. Still very obvious that it's my videos, but he's changing the name on there. But please don't let that put you off of subscribing. Just ask you to make sure it's my name there. Many thanks for joining me today. Until next time, happy crafting. Cheerio.